Hello, 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 my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. If you're listening, tuning, watching this, and the day that it drops, it is Monday, March 31st. Welcome to the very end of March. We brought this on ourselves, right? I am we. January took forever, and we were like, wow, this is the longest month ever. And now look at us. We're in April. Joke's on us. Right? Today I'm talking about, is success still possible in the online space? I want to provide some nuance around this as per always, and also just some like personal feelings and anecdotes and experience that I have regarding the online space. But first, y'all know, life updates. First of all, it is very bright in here, but it's not sunny. We all know like a gray sky is actually one of the best to like shoot pictures with, but it's very gray. The marine layer came in and now it's like super bright, right? I'm kind of in my eyes. I'm kind of squinting. If you're watching it, you see this. I'm old now and I literally only want to listen to podcasts if I can watch them. Like I'm like, oh, you don't have it on. Why is that? I don't know. I want to watch it. So hopefully you're watching and you see how bright it is. But life update wise, No Man's Land programming. I spoke about this last episode. That's Aaron Straker's DIY programming that he has. I am about to start week number 3. By the time that this drops, it'll be week number 4. But as the time that I'm recording it, I'm starting week number 3, and it's going super, super well. I'm really, really fucking enjoying it. We'll link that in the show notes. Thank you, Courtney. But I'm bringing this up. I bring up this programming because I believe it's important to have personal pursuits and anchor items or anchor actions that just ground you, right? For me, that has always been like my own physicality, my physical well-being, and being able to work on that and be able to lean on that. And sometimes it's literally working on that in terms of like rehabbing my shit, because, you know, like my knees be doing knee things. And so even if it's that, like I have matured enough and I've dealt with knee stuff basically since I was 15 years old. So I don't like view it as like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. It's still like something that I can like work on and be doing and looking to get better with it. And even when they're doing well, which my knees they're doing well. This is something that grounds me. And I know that I can like, it's like I'm avoiding using the word control because like injuries happen, but like my own physicality and how much effort I'm putting into it is something that I can control. Right. And so I always like, no matter what's going on in the world or what's going on in life, I know that I can come back to that. So it's been really nice to be diving into that. It was somewhat of a jump, I should say, not a big jump, but somewhat of a jump from my previous program. So like I said, I programmed for myself. I was doing 3 days a week. Rupert is here. I was doing 3 days a week, full body. And I was just like, I want to go, largely inspired by Betsy. Shout out to you, Betsy. I was like, I think I'm going to go back to having, upper lower splits. And I wanted to have some new intensity techniques that I didn't know how to program. I've been following Aaron and Brian for a bit. And so I bought Aaron's program. But there was a jump from going to 3 days a week, full body, to now 5 days a week. And it's upper body. It's like an upper lower push pull kind of split. But each of these workouts are 90 minutes long. One of them kind of only takes me about 60 minutes. So the math is actually pretty close, because before it would take me over 2 hours. Sometimes it'd be 2.5 hours. And I don't mind. I really like being in the gym. And I would be dicking around, sometimes as well. Now I definitely have timed rest periods, and like it is a solid 90 minutes. But if you do the math on that, it ends up being about the same amount of time, which just split, the frequency is split up. So it's been good. And now the balancing that I have to do is fitting it in with volleyball. It was a little bit easier to fit in with volleyball because there's fewer days, but now there's some days that have to be, double sessions. But I love it. And I actually got to test it this past weekend. So I did full games on Friday. I did class and games on Saturday. And I lifted legs on Friday. And then I did my 5th session of the week. I moved it to Sunday because I was like, on Saturday, I'm fucking dead. But it worked out. And today I'm a little sore on my knees, but like I took a bath last night at 11:30 p.m. and I did red light afterwards. And, honestly, I'm super grateful to have the ability to take care of myself like that. Both from like having that tub and the red light panel, and Lex turned the bath on while I was walking Moose. And I have the time to do it. I don't have kids. I did it after I walked Moose. It was 11:30 at night. Then I stayed up and I did red light afterwards. So that means I went to bed later, but that's fine because I don't wake up till 7:30 or 8. Like I don't wake up super early. And I absolutely take full advantage of all these things. And I'm grateful. Still very, very grateful. So all to say, it's going really well. I'm really happy with it. And that anchor item will always be there for me. Next update, I ordered this thing called Sunspec, or a Sunspec, I don't know, to see how much sun. We have a 5x5-ish bed, like a little bit of a raised bed in our backyard that the owners had put there. I don't know, they're trying to grow tomatoes or something. I don't really know. It's had a bunch of flowers in it. Lex pulled all this stuff out. And we're kind of talking about getting a sauna, and I was like, I am not going to use that fucking thing. Like, I would if we got a sauna, I want a traditional one. Traditional ones are heavy and big, so they have to go like downstairs. And I was like, I'm not going to go all the way downstairs. I know myself, and I don't care if you judge me for saying that. Like, I'm not trying to go all the way down. It's like we have three stories here. It's a tall house. We got vertical living here, and I'm like, 3 stories, including like the ground, the like basement level, and then 2 above it. And I was like, I'm not going all the way down there. There's no way. Right. So we left the bed there, and then Lex had taken all the stuff out of it. And so I have been reading Braiding Sweetgrass. I got recommended that book. I don't know who recommended it. It might have been my brother, might have been Laura Jean, might have been Stephanie Hine, might have been somebody else. But years ago, someone recommended it. I bought it. I never started reading it or listening to it. And now I'm listening to it because the universe knows when you need shit. And it's just so good. I'm not going to lie. The first chapter, I was like very sad, but it has largely inspired me to improve my connection with the land, to be completely honest. So I bought this Sunspec thing, and you put it in the dirt, and it tells you how much direct sunlight you have, because we live in Southern California, but I actually don't have sunlight all the time because of where, like, that plot is kind of like, it's on the west side of the house, so like the sun gets blocked. We have a really big tree in the backyard as well, so like there's not direct sunlight all the time, so that's going to dictate what we can grow. So I was like, well, let me see how much sunlight we get. There's a little thing that you can put in the ground that tells you. So I ordered that, not from Amazon. I have not ordered anything from Amazon since I told y'all I'm not using Amazon. And it hasn't been hard, but it's like it's a little bit frustrating because you're like, I can't get shit anywhere else. Like this thing is like only on Amazon. So I had to like look around in like some small stores and things like that, but like able to find it. But like paper towels, we have a specific brand that we like. It's escaping my head right now. Viva. But like I guess it's like their original ones, the ones that like feel like kind of like cloth, they're like fucking impossible to find. And I'm like, I'm not fucking going to Target. Even before they were shitty, I didn't go there. I've never left Target. I'm not ordering from Amazon. I'm just going to have shitty paper towels. But all that to say, and also tying in with the braiding sweetgrass, is that so much of what I've been talking about recently is that like, we can start doing the things that we want right now, right? We can start building and living the lives that we want, in the world that we want right now. And so that's what I'm doing in the backyard. Right? But the segue, that will serve as a segue and living in the building the world we want right now, it will segue into the last little update, which is answers from last week's episode. So last week's episode was episode 657. That was 2 things you can do right now. And in the episode, I referenced that my friend Pam hosted a meetup for like 5 of us. And we'll drop that episode, by the way. Thank you, Courtney. She hosted a meetup. It's 5 of us, and it was largely aimed at, just getting together and talking about what's going on in the U.S. right now, how we feel about it, and what we could possibly do. And 2 of the questions that the 2 questions that she asked was, number 1, what are your 3 biggest fears about right now and what's going on? And number 2, what are 3 people or places or resources, where you go to find comfort, intel, information? So I said that I would share my answers this week so as not to skew yours. And I am more than happy to discuss this if you want to hit me up and chat. But my 3 biggest fears. Number 1, nothing changes. I am very afraid that we kind of just get a Band-Aid solution for things and people are like, oh, see, it isn't that bad. And we just keep going. And honestly, things are that bad and things need to fucking change. Second biggest fear is financial crisis, and largely involving my family. We're all spread out, and that to me, money is safety, money is options, and I worry about this. I worry about financial collapse or financial. It's not going to be collapse, but just financial crisis where things get bad. And then the third thing that I worry about, and I'm going to sound a little like Tin Hattie right now, that's techno-feudalism. And the development of a creation of a network state. Translation, the billionaire tech bros take over. I read a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of stuff. I don't share all the stuff that I read and watch. Not on here anyway, or I have it with my people. But that is definitely something that I am ultimately worried about. Right? I don't want to live in a world like that. So happy to chat about those things. The resources that give me comfort. I actually had a bunch. I had more than 3, and I share a bunch of them all. Like, I share the same ones often on here. So I'm going to share them again. The people that bring me comfort, and they're also resources. My girl, Dr. J-Pop, definite Dr. Jennifer Hutton. We will link that episode we just did with her. Thank you, Courtney. My girl, Rachel Strickland. I've had her on the podcast before. I've had Jennifer on a few times, but most recently, just a few episodes ago. Laura Jean. Y'all know I love me some Laura Jean. James Olivia, Inquisitive Human. I talk about them all the time. Uchenna Osai. Wow. Dr. Uchenna Osai. Wow. I had so many words coming out. Dr. Uchenna Osai. UC. She's UC Logic. And Stephanie Hine. I've actually brought her on the podcast many moons ago, but she runs a farm called Hine Farms. That's the account. We'll link all of those things. Thank you, Courtney. And she does give me a lot of hope, and just from the regenerative agriculture and what we can learn from the land. I really, really take a lot of comfort from all those people. Additional accounts that I want to share with you that I love. Black Liturgies. Sharon Says So. Y'all know I love Sharon. Lene Vinny. One of my favorite accounts. If you don't know who she is, we're linking it. Check her out. Yeah, some of her posts are a little bit longer, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, heaven forbid. Her shit is fucking good. As it says in her bio, somebody give that woman a show already, please. A new find that I've recently started following is Catherine Ann Edwards. She's a labor economist. She is KED's economist. And it's just nice to know, to hear from someone like that, knows this shit and this is their specialty and they're in it, but they're also logical and just unassuming about things. It's just, I really feel comforted by what she shares. And I found her through, this is the last resource, Money with Katie. I think I've spoken about her before. She has a podcast I really like as well. But those are the resources. So those are my answers. If you want to chat, again, would love to chat about it. Shoot me a DM. But let's hop on into today's topic, which is success still possible in the online space? So the direct tie-in to this last part of just what's going on in the world and our fears and resources around that is that, come on, fucking look at everything that's going on around us, right? My guess is that if you've been here for a minute, you've been listening to me for a minute, or even if you haven't, if you're choosing to listen to me now and you're this far in the episode, some part of you, and it could be a big part of you, is looking around at all of this, right? In the United States, what is happening, and globally, what's happening. And you're wondering, how has online business contributed to this? How has online business perpetuated this? How has online business been shaped by this? Is success still possible in the online space? Not just because maybe it's, the space is saturated, but because is it even worth it? Right? What does success mean and look like? Will success continue to make things worse and contribute to more of this? If perhaps you weren't thinking any of these things, well, welcome to my brain. Right? So part of the reason that I chose this for today's topic is because I do coach online business, and 2 things here. Number 1, I have been asking myself what's worth it, right? I haven't run my Instagram intensive yet. Usually I would have run it once. I run it twice a year, but I have usually a February or March cohort, and we're about to be in April and I haven't done anything with it. I sent an email out to everyone on the wait list and I was like, I'm not running it. It doesn't feel good right now. And I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that, right? There's a dissonance there to be like, fuck the establishment and this is not good, but also pay me so that I can teach you how to go and use this, meta to sell things. It's just a weirdness there. So not running it yet. Right. But I am still coaching my people, my business coaching clients. And, to that end, this is point number 2, I am privy to their launches right now. I'm privy to their financial success right now, or financial happenings right now. And I have quite a few more data points than the average person as it relates to what's, the numbers and what's going on in the online business space and traditional financial success surrounding that. So right off the bat, right, as it relates to is success still possible in the online space, your niche, it matters, right? But I'm just going to talk about what's kind of going on right now. The niche absolutely matters, but people in general are definitely not being super loose with their money right now, right? Well, we're not like in a panic by any means, but and I'm not even sure if we've gone into like scared territory yet, but things are uncertain. People don't know tariffs and like it's going to change and like what's going to happen. The stock market's down and just like what is going to happen with things. That uncertainty makes people nervous and that makes them aware and cautious and they hold on to their money, right? So translation, people are not as willing to part with their money right now, right? And they're really thinking about whether something is a necessity or an accessory, right? Whether it's a need to have or a nice to have. Regarding niche, in an area where you help people make money, you're not going to be first in the chopping block because people are like, I want more money, right? So you go on B2B, right? Whether you're like a business owner that's teaching other PTs about how to do PT techniques or whatever, or movement pro teaching other movement pros, right? I'm not seeing those industries being hit super hard just yet. But I am seeing it and things starting to be tightened in the B2C, business to consumer or direct to consumer niches, right? So examples would be like if you help moms with their pelvic floor, right? You're going direct to the consumer. You're not teaching other providers how to help moms with their pelvic floor. You're going right to the moms. Moms are a tough group in general, right? Because moms put themselves last, and they're always fucking busy. So it's very easy for this demographic to be like, treatment of my pelvic floor is nice to have, not need to have right now. So I'm going to not buy this program. So B2C, I am absolutely starting to see the reins, I don't even know what the colloquial phrase is around it, but like things are being tightened as it relates to the financial side of things, right? My prediction, I said this with some of my clients, I'm sharing with you, my prediction for 2025, what it's been and will continue to be, and my suggestion, therefore, for 2025 is to go deep with your current people because there is uncertainty. And not only is there uncertainty, there is like unrest and there's like intentional, divisiveness and bullshit happening. Like, let's look at all the bad stuff that's happening. It's not a really great time to be like, I'm going to go buy from someone I've never heard of. And I already don't trust anything that's going on, right? So if you are a business owner, this is the time to double down on your current people, deepen relationships, connections with them, help those people. I do not think that 2025 is a year to be like, I'm going to have massive growth and all these new customers. Like, no, it's not. Even, especially I use Instagram, social media for my business. Like people are not on social media as much because they're trying to protect their mental health because it's just like every day it's some new bad thing. So like people aren't even going to see your shit. So this is the time to be deepening relationships with your people, using email marketing, things like that. In general, as it relates to online business coaching, which is what I do, online business can be a bit of like MLM pyramid scheme where it's really just the folks at the top who make a shit ton of money and then everyone else like doesn't really make hardly any money, which is largely why I do not coach coaches on how to be coaches, right? They immediately fucking know. Like I will not be more than one like level removed from the end user. I consult with people on how to launch, run, and sometimes grow their business. Like that's like my main thing is not like how to grow your shit. It's usually how to launch it and how to run it and like how to build it those initial years. But I need them to be delivering to the consumer, right? Which can be B2B teaching, but it can't be like, now I'm going to teach coaches how to coach coaches about coaching, but how to coach the coaches on how to do the business of the business of the business. I don't do that. Right? And I don't like doing that. Online business mimics that of in-person business in that financial quote unquote success is difficult and not everyone who tries will succeed, right? These are just things I need people to understand about online business and is it worth it and can you still succeed, right? Like one, if the online business coaching space, it is MLM, the people at the top are the ones that they get the money. Two, online business in general is difficult. Business in general, running a business in general is difficult. I tried to look up some stats for this and there's just like not enough like consensus with things. And I was just like, okay, like I'm going to like try and just like make a synopsis of this. And what I took away from it is that a lot of what's discussed is failure after 1 year, after 5 years, after 10 years, which to me more than anything highlights how long this thing can take and that you can be trying and trying and trying. And like some people are just like, after 1 year, they're like, no way. Other people can still be in it. And then after 5 years, it eventually overtakes them. Or then eventually after 10 years, it overtakes them. Right? So the main takeaway for me there is that I want you to take away as well is that online business is not a guarantee and it takes a long time. right? The HSP in me, the highly sensitive person part of me, I have clients that I'm like, I just want their success, their financial success, whatever that looks like for them. I want it so fucking badly. But I have this front row seat that not everyone who plays the game wins, right? Nobody wins quickly, I'll tell you that. And perhaps one of the most difficult things is that your passion for something doesn't dictate the market's willingness to pay for it. Right? It's just facts of things. So to answer the question, is success still possible in the online space? Or is success in the online space still possible? I think so, but it depends on two things: your niche and your version of success, right? So there will always be a market for done-for-you services. People will always be willing to pay to learn how to make more money. Always. That's a given. If you do anything outside of that, right, largely, and this, given I know who my demographic is, listens to this, right, largely, if you do anything outside of that, you're helping people achieve their goals, right, get out of pain, get stronger, complete something, like run a race. The expectation management around that should be that it will be difficult to succeed and it will take time. I didn't say that it's impossible. I really just don't want people burning the ships and being like quitting their job and being like, I'm going to go all in on this and I'm going to make $1 zillion, because like you're not, and it's not going to happen fast. Can it work? Yes. Do I have a timeline? No, not at all. I have no fucking clue. Right? And I just know that if it's going to work, it's going to take a lot of time. Right? And so you need to be able to give yourself that time, and that's by having this other job, right, and having the safety net. I actually have a podcast episode coming out I did with Lex on Krista. She brought us, Krista Gurka brought both of us onto her podcast to talk about discussing in-person business versus online business and the differences and how to move from the in-person space to the online space. But this is something that's the same for in-person, right? Don't burn the fucking ships. Have that safety net, because success, if it's going to happen, it takes time. So the second part here, is success still possible in the online space, is that it depends on your version of success. So what I largely mean here is that are you going into it to try and extract money out of the capitalism machine? Are you trying to change things? Are you willing to do things differently? What does success mean to you? Do you need $1 zillion? Do you need $5? Like, what does it mean to you? Check out episode 652, we'll link that. Thank you, Courtney. That is your business as an opportunity. Right? You start this thing, you have the opportunity to change things, to do things differently. Right? Don't forget that. Don't replace one shitty boss with another shitty boss, yourself. Where I'm going with this is that maybe your business doesn't have to have tremendous or typical financial success that is often celebrated. Right? But it feels good for you. It helps people. It diverges from the traditional system, and it makes enough money, to be able to provide in the way that you need. That's fucking awesome. That is absolutely a form of success. Maybe it's those beginning things, but it doesn't have the financial success part, but it's the other parts. And so like that's enough as a start. Everyone's business is going to be different. One of the things Laura Jean talks about is that your business should serve you. For some people, that business serves them financially, and other people, it doesn't. It serves them as a connection. It serves them as a way that they get to connect with people, the way that they get to have an impact. Right? You get to choose. Yes, the financial piece absolutely matters, though, as it relates to a business, right? Like, besides from the difference between it being the business and a hobby. But the two parts here, when we're talking about the financial perspective, is number one, don't burn the ships. Give yourself long enough to have that financial success. Go in with that expectation management that if it happens, it's going to take a very, very long time. And number two, know you're enough. If you don't know you're enough, it will take forever and you will never get there. You'll pass what actually is enough and you'll just keep going like, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. And you will forever be chasing something that you will never, ever catch. If you are asking yourself if online business is worth it from let's just summarize here. If you're asking yourself if online business is worth it from a purely financial perspective, and I have no judgment around that, again, go in managing your expectations and know that the space is crowded. It does take a long ass time. Not everyone who plays the game wins. No one wins quickly. And done for you services and B2B services will always be the easiest and easier respectively. If you're asking yourself if online business is worth it, you're thinking about trying it or continuing with it, and you're asking yourself from a I don't want to contribute to the bullshit stance. Well, number one, I love you. Number two, we need more of you. And number three, remember that you get to choose how to run your business, whether that's in person or online. So is it worth it? Only if it's worth it to you, and you get to choose. You don't have to contribute to the bullshit. This does require that you take a moment and you be intentional with it. This does take a moment. This does require that you take a moment and understand that by doing things differently, maybe you don't get the same number of sales as if you did things in a different way. I will always be of the school that when you lead with kindness, when you lead with benevolence, when you lead with your expertise, and you give autonomy to your customers, like that's actually the foundation of a successful business. That's the foundation of a business that has longevity built into it, and then can lead to that financial success. But that, at the end of the day, is up to you. Right? You get to choose how you run it. All right, I'm looking at the time, a little bit longer this episode, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm always glad that you choose to give me your time, your energy, your attention. I know you could have been doing anything, and you choose to listen to me, so thank you. That's all I got for you. As always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Until next time, friends, Maestro out.